Good evening. Welcome to California Today. I'm David Lam. Here's a preview of some of today's top stories. Another major retailer plans to close its doors in San Francisco. The company says the downtown area has seen dramatic changes in recent years. With all the talks about California wanting to go full electric, NTD recently got a sneak peek at some up-and-coming EVs. First, we have some breaking news. The former UC Davis student suspected of stabbing two and wounding a third person pleaded not guilty today. If convicted, 21-year-old Carlos Dominguez could face the death penalty or life in prison without bail. We'll keep you updated on this developing story. Meanwhile, in SF, Nordstrom plans to close its downtown stores. The move follows other retailers that left due to what they say are dramatic changes in the area. Here's more on the story.
After 35 years serving customers in San Francisco, the luxury retailer Nordstrom plans to close its downtown San Francisco stores. The company says it's because of dramatic changes in the area in the past several years. Besides Nordstrom, a growing number of retailers and businesses left or plan to leave the area, citing unsafe conditions. These include Whole Foods Market, Walgreens, Amazon Go, Anthropologie, and Banana Republic. Former San Francisco County Supervisor Tony Hall said that Nordstrom's decision was not a surprise. He told The Epic Times that the city is, quote, completely out of control right now. Groups of out-of-town youth enter stores in the city and take merchandise and walk out without fear of being arrested or stopped in any way. Hall added that he believes the only way out is a change of administration and change in the culture of government that is governing in San Francisco.
The news of Nordstrom's closures come days after a security guard shot and killed a shoplifter at a Walgreens on Market Street. But as we reported yesterday, charges against him were dropped after his move was deemed to be in self-defense. And speaking of crime, people continue stealing from stores, pharmacies, and homes. But now even parks are no exception. Authorities are looking for leads to the culprit who abducted about 50 koi fish from San Jose's Japanese Friendship Garden.
Located in Northern California, the garden is home to 3 koi ponds. In a statement, the Parks and Recreation Department said the city is heartbroken at the disappearance of these beautiful creatures. Officials say the koi fish have a total value of about $4,000. The garden was built as a symbol of everlasting friendship between the city of San Jose and its sister city of Okayama, Japan in 1965. To report the missing fish, the public can call the non-emergency San Jose police number at 408-277-8900.
You've seen Teslas dotting the streets of California, but have you seen electric-powered school buses and heavy machines like excavators that run on batteries? NTD had a sneak peek at the 4-day Advanced Clean Transportation Expo in Anaheim that featured some of the best electric vehicle makers in the world.
From large commercial vehicles like semi to cargo trucks, from public buses to construction and mining excavators, the Advanced Clean Transportation or ACT Expo is an annual event to bring together customers and zero-emission vehicle makers from all over the world. Here, Volvo unveiled its first large crawler excavator, EC230, in North America.
So the feature of this machine, it can run for 5 hours. The charging is if you use 150 kilowatt of the charger, you can juice it up from 0 to 80% within 1 hour. So basically when you are having a lunch, your battery is also having a food.
EC230 is equipped with the 4 66 kilowatt lithium-ion battery packs. With a high-power fast charge on the lunch hour, Volvo says this machine could last through a full 8-hour shift.
So basically for battery, there's no maintenance. You do need to have the liquid coolant because this battery is active thermal control. Every 4 years or 600 hours, you do need to replace the coolant. But the rest, on the battery side.
And the adoption of electric school buses is on the rise in the United States. According to the World Resource Institute, as of the end of 2022, there were close to 1,400 electric school buses in operation in the U.S.
So this is a Collins-based school bus. The body is from Collins Bus. It's based on the chassis GM 4500, so it's a Class 4 Type A school bus. It features 120 kilowatt hours of Proterra batteries on it. It can charge in at 80 kilowatts at DC fast charge, as well as AC charging at 13.2 kilowatts. So range on this bus is about 130, 140 miles.
650 school districts in the U.S. have already stated their intentions to go electric.
The school bus itself, depending on what state you're in, regardless of what state you're in actually, if you can apply for the EPA funding, this bus can actually go to $0. It can be a free bus.
Last August, Governor Gavin Newsom and the California Air Resources Board issued a rule that bans the sale of gas-powered vehicles by 2035. Just a week ago, the state passed a proposal banning the sale of new diesel big rigs by 2036. These new rules will also require large companies to convert their existing trucks to zero emissions by 2042. The long series of state policies with an ambitious goal to slash greenhouse gas emissions by 85% has raised concerns about the sustainability of the current power grid. It has also propelled the transportation fleet operators to rush to look for solutions to stay in compliance. The expo organizer says they are expecting a historical high attendance of 11,000 this year. The ACT Expo will be held in the Las Vegas Convention Center next May.
We'll take a short break now, but stay tuned for some fun-filled stories when we come back. The love for boating is going strong in California. NTD hears from enthusiasts at a San Francisco Bay boat show. And river guides are expecting an epic whitewater rafting season this year. Record rain and snowmelt could bring perfect water rafting conditions. Those stories and more coming up on California Today. Welcome back to California Today. I'm your host, David Lamb. A railroad line in Southern California is introducing a new zero-emission vehicle to its lineup. It's part of the national push to reduce greenhouse gas emissions.
Pacific Harbor Line, or PHL, is the railroad line that moves billions of dollars worth of goods annually around the ports of Long Beach and Los Angeles. On Thursday, PHL and the Federal Railroad Administration held a graduation ceremony for its next class of locomotive engineers. In addition, attendees got a sneak peek of the world's most advanced zero-emission locomotive that will join PHL's fleet.
Right behind me is our brand new, we're calling it the EMD Jewel locomotive. This is the model SD40JR. This is a 2.4 megawatt hour battery electric locomotive.
It's a high horsepower unit that'll be put to full test here, pulling very large trains off the port. It's also a low noise locomotive, so that's why so many people are standing behind me marveling at it.
The new technology is part of an effort to reduce greenhouse gases and air pollution at the ports after the California Air Resources recently released some requirements for railroads.
And we have an effort to reduce carbon emissions across the country, and railroad locomotives, having zero-emission locomotives, is a part of that effort to decarbonize the transportation system that we have. And the locomotive here is an example of that effort.
The Brazil-manufactured locomotive is a 100% battery electric, the first of its kind in North America.
It's actually a lithium ion phosphate battery, which is, from our standpoint, more stable, safe from a safety perspective. It provides a good balance of utilization and ability to charge and life cycle to meet the customer's needs.
There's also other infrastructure that's involved, like charging stations and repair facilities that also have to be a part of the system.
The locomotive should operate as efficiently as a diesel locomotive. Similar to how some vehicles have charging during braking, Ram says the Locomotive has a dynamic brake.
So when you're going downhill, you're trying to brake the locomotive. The traction motors underneath the locomotive will actually utilize the energy to slow it down and charge the batteries.
According to Ram, the Locomotive should be operational within 60 days.
An annual West Coast Boat Show returns to California. On Thursday, I heard from boating enthusiasts and experts who say the San Francisco Bay has growing demand for electric motors.
The Pacific Sail and Power Boat Show is back at the West Point Harbor in Redwood City after a 4-year hiatus.
So you have your winches, you have your display where you control the depths and the wind speed and the engine speed.
The event runs from May 4th to Sunday, May 7th, currently showcasing about 50 booths and 60 different boats, as well as seminars.
We have power boats here, we have sailboats of various sizes, catamarans, people love catamarans, there's some charter companies, we have electric boats, state-of-the-art electric applications now.
Jim Behan, the show manager, hopes to spread the love for boating to others. He says boaters are starting to electrify their motors, going greener.
I think you're going to see a lot more people sailing, and also they're transitioning some power boats to putting electric motors in them. As batteries become lighter and easier to install, you're going to see people switching over, especially in the San Francisco area. We're leading the whole world right now with electric technology for boating.
So I would say the majority of our clients shop around for sailboats to stay in the bay. It's also a lot more comfortable. I'm not sure if you've ever been out the Golden Gate, but it can be kind of rough.
Enthusiasts also come to see the newest equipment, sail and power boats. Now this is a 300 horsepower diesel engine, a lot quieter than other diesel engines. Also, it consumes about 25% less fuel than gas.
So that's full throttle. So we're looking at 35.5, 36 knots. Fuel burn just under 19.5 wide open throttle. That's gallons per hour. At 4,000 max RPM.
Gas and diesel-powered engines offer the benefit of range and speed, but those in the industry say there's a growing demand for electric motors in the San Francisco Bay Area than other parts of California.
It eliminates fumes, it's very quiet, and it also is environmentally very positive.
The demand is there. You know, there's a lot of caution, I think, for people because, like cars, there's range anxiety. Boats are harder to push through the water with electricity because they don't coast like cars. You really need to push them all the time.
Oh, yeah, we do sail. Yeah. We sail right on San Francisco Bay out of Richmond Yacht Club and under the Golden Gate Bridge.
We just put a new motor in that we had seen at previous boat shows.
For those that love the ocean, this is more than just a hobby.
It's what keeps me alive, truly. The older I get, the more I appreciate every moment on the water. And if you haven't experienced it, it's hard to describe in words. You know, the ocean is alive, and we get the competition of all of Mother Nature.
It's a way for a family or a group of friends or just folks to get together and enjoy something that is natural and have fun. Boating is fun. If you don't want to have fun, then you shouldn't be boating, but that's what it's all about. Family, fun, friends.
When you get on a boat and get off into the breeze, it's very much a connection to nature, a disconnection from the internet and all the other distractions of life. You can become a competitive racer or sail around the world. There's a lot of ways to get involved in sailing, but the basics are hoist some sails and get out there in the water. It's a beautiful thing to do.
In Redwood City, California, David Lamb, NTD News.
Now, speaking of boats, following this winter's series of storms, river guides are saying this season's whitewater rafting will be epic. The record amount of snowfall in the Sierra Nevada mountains is expected to melt and bring rushing water. Let's take a look.
As snowpack begins to melt, cascading volumes of water will flow into various rivers at rates not seen in years. Although the snowmelt brings some flooding concerns, after years of drought, it's great news for the dozens of whitewater rafting companies in the state. One such river is the American River. flowing out of the mountains near Lake Tahoe.
So the last couple years we've seen anywhere from 1,300 to 2,000 CFS, which is cubic feet per second. And this year, right now, we're seeing about 7,000 CFS go by us.
During drought years, guides are still able to offer river rides thanks to scheduled dam releases. But the seasons are often short, ending in late summer, and could only operate 5 or 6 days a week.
But rapids get bigger, there's a lot more trees in the water along the sides of the river, as especially after 4 years of drought, the trees, while the trees aren't necessarily as healthy, they're now in the water.
But there can be too much of a good thing. While conditions on the South Fork of the American River are ideal, the North Fork of the American is currently considered too high for safe rafting. Last month, the Placer County Sheriff's Office said a man jumped in the North Fork after nightfall and was swept away. He remains missing.
As long as we don't get a crazy spike, the South Fork is actually raftable. It basically all flows. But many of the other rivers in California are too high right now, and we're moving people around and getting off of various different rivers. So another river that we run this time of year is the North Fork of the American, which is over outside of Auburn off of 80. And it's this week it's too high. It's gone over peak flows, and it just gets to the point where even we don't want to go out there.
In the Southern Sierra, the Kern County Sheriff's Department is warning the public to only raft on the Kern River with professional guided tours, which require rafters to wear helmets and life jackets and not attempt to float on their own. Last week, national park officials temporarily closed a portion of the Yosemite Valley after forecasters warned of flooding from the Merced River, another popular river for rafting. Whitewater rafting operators say their industry is crucial to the local economies where they can safely operate. Rafters often fill the surrounding hotels and restaurants before and after their river adventures.
Now, let's check in with NTD's Carlos Reyes for a sports roundup, where an unlikely prospect makes his dreams a reality.
This is your California Sports Roundup, and I'm Carlos Reyes. Klay Thompson scored 30 points with 8 3-pointers. Golden State limited Anthony Davis while allowing LeBron James 23 points. And the defending champion Warriors even their Western Conference semifinal with the Lakers at 1 game apiece with an 127-100 win Thursday night. Stephen Curry added 20 points and 12 assists as Splash Brother Thompson got hot to help the Golden State Warriors make 21 more three-pointers, giving the Warriors an NBA record for most in the first 2 games of a playoff series with an impressive 42. Coach Steve Kerr switched things up and inserted JaMychal Green into the starting lineup for Kevon Looney, who had a career-high 23 rebounds in Game 1, but has been dealing with an illness. Kerr aimed to give a different look with scoring options and more free throw chances by going hard with a physical presence against Davis in the paint, where Golden State got thoroughly outplayed in an 117-112 loss in the opener. Thompson's basket, with 7 minutes and 48 seconds left in the third, gave Golden State its biggest lead at 82-64, and the Warriors rolled from there. The Warriors had more fast break points and points in the paint. JaMychal Green matched his playoff career high with 15 points, while Draymond Green contributed with 11 points, 11 rebounds, and 9 assists after insisting he had to get more aggressive. The best of 7 series shifts to Los Angeles for Game 3 on Saturday. Isaiah Winstead, the 6'4", 213-pound wide receiver from East Carolina, has officially signed with the San Francisco 49ers as an undrafted free agent following a remarkable journey to the NFL. After failing to sign with any team following the 2023 NFL Draft, Winstead took matters into his own hands and turned to social media, specifically Twitter, to showcase his skills and gain exposure. His tweet which implored fans to share a message to potential NFL teams looking for a wide receiver, quickly went viral and garnered over 4.6 million views. While it's unclear if the viral tweet directly led to his signing with the Niners, it undoubtedly played a role in getting Winstead's tape in front of a wider audience, including 49ers general manager John Lynch. With his impressive size and athleticism, Winstead caught the attention of NFL scouts and coaches alike. Winstead's journey to the NFL has been anything but easy. After going undrafted, he faced the prospect of having to put his dreams on hold and finding another way to make ends meet. However, his determination, hard work, and social media savviness paid off. As Winstead begins his journey with the 49ers, he'll be looking to prove himself as a reliable pass catcher and a valuable asset to the team. Luis Rengifo drove in 4 runs on 3 hits, including a 3-run homer, as Los Angeles outslugged St. Louis to complete a 3-game sweep. Matthias and Zach Neto each drove in 2 runs for the Angels, who won their 4th straight game and the 7th in their last 9. Rengifo also scored twice. Every Angels starting position player collected at least 1 hit, as the team totaled 16. Tommy Edman hit a 3-run homer, and Wilson Contreras and Paul Goldschmidt drove in 2 runs each for the Cardinals, who lost their 6th straight game and 9th in 10 games. Angels 11, Cardinals 7.
That is it for today's Sports Roundup. I'm Carlos Reyes. Thank you for watching.
Thanks, Carlos. That's all we've got for you tonight. We'd like for you to join us again on California Today every weekday at 8:30 p.m. Make sure to check out our broadcasts on our California Today webpage. You can find it at ntd.com/California-Today. You can also find all of our top latest clips there, ready to share with friends and family. You can send us a message on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, or through our email, california.today@ntd.com. We'd love to hear from you. I'm David Lamb. Have a wonderful evening.